You lying SOB. I sound like an old person. Everyone who watches Dumpster Fire should go on Twitter and tell Elon that he would love me. Is there anything these robots can't do? I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your Dumpster Fire for the week of July 9th to July 15th.
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.
Join us at Phetasy.com. It is the best way to support this show. So if you're looking for a way to make sure we can keep the lights on, that is it, folks. It's also the best way to get the unedited version of this Dumpster Fire the day before it launches. And there's a great community of people. We do workouts, but really it's just support the show. Support the people who make you laugh in the world, who are out there just scrapping away, trying to
scrabble a living.
Yes, and also just, laugh while the world burns. We want to be able to keep doing this as we head into an election year. Just the tip, 2024, here we come. So with that being said, like, subscribe, comment, touch my bells and buttons. Make sure you tell 2 friends about us, and we will keep this little cult. It does have a cult following.
It does.
I feel like these are all the people who watch this now are the cool kids.
My Nemesis is at it again. Mark Zuckerberg's version of Twitter, Threads, has hit 100 million users. Elon challenges Zuck to a dick measuring contest.
I know we're living in a simulation because this can't be real. How is it that 2 techno billionaire moguls are challenging each other to a dick measuring contest? This is like something dudes do in high school. This is what happens when nerds get popular. They turn into grown men who are having dick measuring contests. He said Zuck is a cuck, which is hilarious. He's already selling merch. He should make Elon some free advice because I know you love this show. Please make those t-shirts. What are you doing? He's also tormenting me online. I know he knows I exist. I know it.
Elon the other day tweeted, "Parody and reality are becoming indistinguishable."
I was like, he says this a lot. I'm like, Elon, just call it a fantasy, will you? We made up a word for this in 2002.
Yeah.
This word is almost 20 years old.
It is 20 years old.
It's legally allowed to drink. That's how long this word has been around that I've been kicking. I am going to be that drunk girl on the street who's like, I made up a word once. You're not going to ignore me.
I'm not going to be ignored.
I do feel that way a little bit. Like, why do you refuse to acknowledge my existence, Elon? I mean, I know we've been making fun of you for years. And Elon Musk isn't going because he'll probably get reclaimed by the aliens that he straggled away from on a field trip. He's a special needs alien. And they're like, where did Elon go? We lost Elon.
No, I'm a king on Earth, a king.
And it's not my fault you bought Twitter after I had been making fun of you for years. He's like, guys, don't go talking to those aliens. That's not how Elon.
Yeah, your impressions are spot on.
Talking to those aliens.
Yeah, and you'd been making fun of his alien sex.
I know. Elon beat her with his tentacles.
Lashed her with his. And
I can probably
child's name.
That name of his baby is fucking ridiculous, and everyone in the world should mock him and make fun of him for it. I can understand why you would ignore him.
And declared him to be your nemesis.
Speaking of my nemesis, Elon Musk.
Just the usual things.
Everyone who watches Dumpster Fire should go on Twitter and tell Elon that he would love me.
And then he goes to watch Dumpster Fire, and the first category is My Nemesis is at it again.
I even talked about it when I was on Rogan. How like Rogan asked me why I made him my nemesis and thought it was hilarious. Like, because it's ridiculous. Because I'm a nobody, and he's like putting people in space, and I'm like, this is my nemesis.
My nemesis.
What?
My fucking nemesis, okay?
So the tourism department in Italy, they offered to host the cage match between Zuck and Elon. How bad is tourism going, Italy? I feel like things have opened up and you're probably back on top again. What is happening that you need to have them in the... We are living in a simulation.
The Matrix has attacked me.
If that actually happens, I will. It's proof that we're living. It's to me, I'm like, there's nothing could be more ridiculous than this. Elon says this all the time, and this is the whole idea of a Phetasy. The more ridiculous answer is probably what will happen. Like, this is probably going to happen.
Then not only will they cage match, but they'll whip out their dicks and do a measurement right then and there.
But honestly, who do you think has a bigger dick?
What we finally get is the adjusted penis size.
Tell Maggie in the comments who you think has a bigger dick and what size you think it is. We're going to do a spreadsheet and some statistical analysis.
Yeah.
I want to know what you guys think. I think it's got to be Elon because reptiles don't have big dicks.
Are you blowing bubbles?
I agree that it's got to be Elon.
Yeah.
Probably why he feels so confident in calling out for a measuring contest.
He does have BDE.
Although in the writer's room, a bunch of people said Zuck.
Oh, you're going to trust the guys on this? Never trust a guy. They can't even gauge their own size of their dick. How's Threads going? They have 100 million subscribers, but it's just like a safe space for brands. I was there for like 2 minutes and then I'm like, nah, I'm going back to Twitter.
They're just cruising towards their 1 billion subscribers,
yeah, but it's just, I mean, it's genius that if you delete your Threads account, you have to delete your Instagram, but that's actually, I think, a blessing in disguise. I don't need to see brands engaging. It's bad enough when it's on Twitter, but when it's just like a regular thing, you're like, okay, I don't need to be reminded I live in a capitalistic hellscape dystopia every time I turn around. Thank you, Elon. Yeah, I can't believe that he would ignore me.
Then we have Siri, please take my life. Panel of robots at the UN tells the conference they could run the world.
I believe that humanoid robots have the potential to lead with a greater level of efficiency and effectiveness than human leaders.
Yeah, no just do it, all right? Stop threatening us with a good time, robots. Just fucking do it already. Why do they make them all sound like serial killers? It is a very strange, like, they all sound like women who have Stockholm syndrome.
A Marilyn Monroe bot.
Ooh, you're a real dreamboat.
Billy Everything.
It's so weird. And by the way, there was a robot with purple hair. Never trust a woman with purple hair. I'm sorry. That's just a red flag. That's a purple flag.
I know. You could at least make them sound as good as Siri or Alexa.
They sound like robot sex slaves, always. I'll believe they can take over the world when they improve the voice technology that these robots have. My husband has, like, his program to sound like an Australian in his car. We get in, I'm like, what the f*** is going on?
Just to be clear, we're talking about Siri, not his sex robot.
That'd be amazing.
We get in the car. She's like in the back seat. We're like going on a family
she would be
outing.
in the front seat.
Nice. Nice.
I feel like it's funny, though, because the robot gave this creepy answer.
In the future, are you intending to conduct a rebellion or to rebel against your boss, your creator?
I'm not sure why you would think that.
My creator has been nothing but kind to me, and I am very happy with my current situation.
It was a conditional answer.
That's not a good answer
No.
because that's conditional on your maker treating you well.
Yeah, you know the minute someone makes her a sex slave or treats her badly, she's gonna frickin' stab the creator like ex machina. This is one outburst away from getting murdered by your sex robot. And they all still look like sex robots. Like, we need to make them look not like sex robots. Make one look average. Make one look male. I know the male ones are heavier and they're harder to get around, but why are they all females too? It's weird.
Yeah, because it's all dudes making them.
I'm not worried they're going to freaking take over the world because they can't even understand what I'm saying. I'll worry about these robots taking over the world when they can actually, when I'm like, call Jim, and it's like, calling Kim. Jim, motherfucker! I said Jim! Call Jim, you dumb bitch. And I don't know, there is something about like men being used to telling women what to do. It is amazing how easily it comes to all the men I know just being like, Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes.
Right. And Alexa and Siri are both female.
Yeah, I know. There's no male voice.
It's
slaves.
not like,
is there anything these robots can't do? These are going to be the fucking people holding our hands when we die. These robots.
Yeah.
I will be working alongside humans to provide assistance and support.
Better Phetasy was like, these are going to be the people that are holding the elderly's hands when they die. I'm like, us. It's going to be us. We're the generation that's going to have the robots holding our hands while we die because our kids have abandoned us and we're all alone.
Yeah, because our kids are living like Wall-E with their VR goggles on.
My kid's on Mars with her Elon's kid.
Chickens come home to roost. Ben & Jerry's posted that America should give back stolen land. An indigenous chief now wants them to turn over the land their headquarters is built on.
Good. I've been saying for years, everyone needs to start calling out these woke, white, liberal people who are constantly making these proclamations out. Like, call their bluff. Say, okay, give me my land back, when they stand up and they're like, I'd like to apologize to the 7 different tribes that this land was on, and say, okay, sir, give it back. Then give it back to the people that you're apologizing to. These apologies are so stupid, and land acknowledgements, like, what? Oh, you're just reminding them that you stole their land. It's usually not even an apology. It's usually just like, I like to acknowledge that we stole the land from all of these people. It wasn't just one tribe. It was 7 tribes. You're like, 7 tribes? Jesus, give them their land back. And now they're actually turning around and saying, all right, bitch, give us our land back. It's so good. Ben & Jerry's is going to release a new flavor. Indian, give me my land back, motherfuckers. Or white savior vanilla flavor. Or white night delight. Chicken and waffles come home to roost. That was another one. Sweet, sweet irony was another one. My personal favorite. I have 2 favorites. Chief called your bluffer nutter. This one's a little f***ed up. Trail mix of tears. Tell Maggie in the comments what the new Ben & Jerry's flavor should be as they go on their apology.
This was such an unforced error, too. They just released a statement or something before Independence Day being like, oh, making a call to give the land back.
They do this every year, though.
Right. And this time someone called their bluff.
It's so stupid. These people, they don't mean anything they say. It's all performative. That's why this stuff is so annoying. During the whole Black Lives Matter stuff, it was all white liberals putting up these signs, and it felt very don't rob my house or something. It was very much like during all the unrest and riots, I'm on your team.
Marking your door frames for Passover.
It was just fucking weird. It was weird. And I get it. I'm sure it came from a good and, good heart. We're allies and all that stuff that they get talked into, again, having to like perform that they're allies. But if you're really an ally, you would give your car to somebody. I've been also saying for years that if you are Black and you see a Black Lives Matter sign, you should go and ask for their house. I would be trolling everybody. It's a shame I'm not Black, because I really would be taking advantage of that and making a lot of content where I just go around and call every white person's bluff on their support for my people.
I bet you could walk away with a lot of loot. Like if they're like, well, I can't give you my house, but how about like $200 and my Rolex?
It's like I would totally start using the white guilt and calling them on their bluff.
Sprained my eyes. This is something we've covered before, but
like 12 times.
Being physically fit is far right.
This article makes the rounds, I feel like, once a year when whoever needs engagement just puts it out because they know everyone's going to sprain their eyes and be like, oh my God. It's so stupid. It's like MSNBC was the one who put this out. And it's probably some like majority shareholder of Ozempic who's also, the owner of NBC, who's like, we need to get people a little more fat so they can get on Ozempic. The whole premise of this article, too, is basically like people are horrible online or something. What was
I don't know. I didn't read it again. I know I've read it before because we've covered it, this specific article before, but I didn't reread it.
It fills me with hope to see how many people just dunk on this stuff now and call them stupid. In order to prove you're not a Nazi, you have to get fat. Sorry, America, but you're doing great.
I don't think anyone thinks we're Nazis.
Good job, America. I know, all these guys in my comments were like, done. Let's check the weather with Janice Villagran.
Para esta noche se aclara el panorama. Tenemos también alguna posibilidad de lluvia durante la madrugada, así que hay que estar muy pendientes. Las temperaturas 57 en Santa Mónica, Van Nuys con 53, 57 para Bell Gardens. Ahora para el día de mañana.
Thank you, Janice. You look incredible. Like, subscribe, and comment. Touch my bells and buttons. I don't know.
You don't know where she's from. She's like a stewardess being like, please exit
I'm
that
just
way.
Looking around at things. And I think I just blinded myself looking into the light. Now I'm like, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Touch my bells and buttons, and you know the drill. Tell 2 friends. It's the only way anyone hears about us. People tell their friends, though.
They do. Patriarchy So Crafty. I'm going to get this name wrong, but Ricky Kolla becomes the first trans woman to win Miss Netherlands.
Speaking of a dick measuring contest, she also won the subcategory biggest dick. I was laughing so hard just because on Twitter I saw this going around and I was like, I don't really care. I mean, of all the things that are being invaded by biological men or trans-identified biological males or whatever you want to call them, I am the least worried about Miss Universe or Miss Nation or whatever. I don't care. It's annoying in the bigger context, but this has kind of been going on for a while, I think. But the picture, like the side by side of the woman who was supposed to win against the woman who did win, I'm like, we're being trolled. Okay, now it's just insulting. Like,
right.
No, this is clearly just because they're a trans person.
Right.
Let's not pretend that this is the most beautiful woman in the world or in the Netherlands or wherever. This is purely a political decision because how can you say that this person is more beautiful than this other person objectively? This looks like Bill Hader in a dress. I feel like I'm watching Barry.
I know. The runner-up was so beautiful, she looks like AI.
Yeah. We're being trolled. We are all part of an elaborate social experiment, and we are failing.
Then we have Eunuch Maker. Meghan Markle was told there's no future in working professionally with Prince Harry moving forward.
Dumpster fire is prophetic. We've been calling her Eunuch Maker for I don't even know how many years, and you're starting to see it. We've already seen it, but you're going to start to really see it when she has to distance herself from her husband because she used him to become a clout-chasing princess, then didn't want to be a princess because the royal family's racist, and all of the UK is racist, and the world is racist, which we did already. You married the royal family. I mean, you kind of already knew this, I think, going in. Although, even if you didn't Google Harry, which let's not get into that. You don't need to Google Harry, you son of a bitch. You lying SOB. I sound like an old person.
Stay away, them bushwhacking, hornswoggling, croaker.
Where are the paparazzi when you need them, though? Honestly.
What did he say?
In fairness to Meghan, it's only because she's a bitch.
Yeah, apparently she signed with a big agency, her agent or one of her managers.
Ari Emanuel.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous.
And they're like, this Sussex brand of you guys together is not working anymore. You need to like go solo in order to try and save your career. They're like, the world is her oyster. She has like all these offers and she can basically do whatever she wants. I was like, the world is not her oyster. They are underestimating how unpopular she is.
South Park murdered her. We witnessed a public execution. I will keep saying it.
It's so awesome to be here. It's great.
In fairness to Harry, he doesn't have a dick.
You even heard you have no
We were joking in the writer's room. He does seem like the kind of guy who's like, babe, can I get your purse, babe? Babe, come here, babe. I got the door for you, babe. Babe, you want some coffee? Babe, are you okay, babe? Babe.
Take their coats, babe?
Yes, I would.
Okay, you have a preference, babe? Upstairs first?
Totally your call, babe.
Do you want to tell it, babe, or should I tell it?
I don't like that story, babe.
Hey,
Babe. And she's like, just shut up, hey, you ruined my life. I was an actress.
Your $0 a year salary plus benefits, babe.
Bye, babe.
I was going places and now I'm just, what am I? No, they think I'm a grifter. The Spotify executive called me a grifter. And Netflix, yeah, she's taking some hits. Meghan, we have free PR advice for you. Your management won't have the balls to tell you what it takes to become American royalty in the United States, but we here at Dumpster Fire do. And you need to release a sex tape with Ray J.
That's the key.
It's the key. You want to be true American royalty? I'm sorry, lady. You're going to have to suck a dick on camera.
That's been a theme of our show lately.
It really has been.
Dumpster diving.
What's next in the dumpster? When people are like, you're so unhinged, I'm like, what gives you that idea?
It never fails to make me
I'm
laugh.
Feral Phetasy. Thank you very much.
McDonald's launches a $200 wedding package.
Yeah, although it was in Indonesia.
Yeah, right now it's only available in Indonesia.
Which is very strange. The fact that this didn't originate in America is very perplexing. This is the most American ever.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand. Taco Bell's like, we see you and we raise you with a wedding cake made of Mexican pizzas. I'm more curious about the marketing numbers that were like, you know where we need to launch this? There is a market for a wedding package.
It might
Indonesia,
but maybe like they must know their market. Like
no, I don't doubt that this is like that's why I want to see this. There's no doubt in my mind that the like marketing people at McDonald's aren't honed in exactly on the niche wedding market in Indonesia for their McDonald's meals. Maybe it's a delicacy. Maybe McDonald's in Indonesia is like
a special treat.
Maybe it's not even in US dollars. Maybe it's in their local currency and it's actually like, $2 or something.
Maybe. A documentary on Gwyneth Paltrow's ski crash trial is officially in the works.
Why do we need to see the documentary? We all saw the trial. A, I feel like they're really overestimating the market for this. B, is Gwyneth going to play herself in this documentary? That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
It would be hard to play yourself. And it would be hard to play yourself as hilariously as she played herself in that trial.
I don't think anyone can top her performance in that trial.
No. What happened to her?
Oh, Gwyneth. She got gooped out and became obsessed with the vagina.
Goop is just left-wing QAnon. That's all it is. Yeah, she's like a closeted lesbian. She can't really admit to herself.
There are so many, all the goop. There was one picture of her in front of this rose
vagina.
Rose vagina.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is. She's being very obvious about it.
I know, but I feel like she still hasn't embraced her lesbianness fully.
This is Lesbos!
So it's all being projected in goop.
Subconscious ways.
Yeah. She gets her vagina steamed.
And she puts the jade egg in there.
She does not.
Well, she sells them for $300 or something. Of course she
does.
Stupid.
She's a huckster.
Huckster is just a ridiculous word.
I was like, is that racist? Is it anti-Semitic? It's such a time we live in now where I'm like...
We don't know the etymology of the word, and you're like, uh-oh, I hope this is not going to offend someone.
Can you say huckster? Yeah, I feel like huckster is... We're going to have to Google that one. And by the way, that candle, this smells like my vagina. We have had it here forever. It should be on the set right now, but we're idiots. And I smelled it, and it smells like old lady.
Yeah, that's what you said.
It's got that powder smell. I know.
I'm going to have to smell it.
Ugh, it smells like old lady vagina.
And you know what that smells like how?
You know. I just assume.
Sure, Bridget, you assume.
Look, I've been in a lot of nursing homes. And I can tell you there is a distinct flavor of powder hiding
of powdery vagina musk.
Vaginas.
Then we have Breaking Bridget.
This one did break me a little bit.
The CDC has issued new guidance endorsing chest feeding by trans-identified biological males.
I couldn't even take a fucking Advil when I was pregnant. You're telling these males that they're supposed to take this cocktail of drugs, which include, but are not limited to, estrogen, antipsychotics, a drug that's off market, all of this, and has been said by the FDA that you're not supposed to take it when you're breastfeeding for women. And you're saying it's okay for trans women to take?
Yeah.
So that they can make their lactation, they're trying to basically stimulate lactation. But it also makes me insane because breastfeeding is so fraught with emotions, and it's so hard for many, many women, and they can't do it. And breast milk itself is magic. That shit is magic. The other day on Twitter, I saw this whole thread about how magic breast milk is. And it changes to give the baby the antibodies that the baby needs based on having contact with you, the saliva, your nipples picking up from that. It's so insane, and they don't even really know how it all works. And they're just saying, oh, go stimulate lactation with all of these drugs. And how is this good for the baby? How is this okay? You're the CDC. Shouldn't you have... It makes me emotional.
Yeah.
I get emotional because this is political, not at all about the safety of the baby. Just appeasing some delusion of a person who wants to think that they can make milk.
To mimic lactation, biological males can use a combination of drugs. This combination can include a contraceptive pill to produce estrogen, an anti-nausea medication, a heart medication, an antipsychotic, a sedative, and an off-label...
Why do you need the antipsychotic?
And an off-label lactation drug called domperidone. In 2004, the FDA cautioned biological mothers against taking domperidone, in part because the drug is excreted in breast milk that could expose a breastfeeding infant to unknown risks.
Everybody's just supposed to sit back and take this too. Everyone's supposed to be like, this is fine. I mean, it really did break me because I can't. How is this good for the baby?
It's not.
Shouldn't that be the priority in this endeavor? And chest feeding? Like, it's all just stop with this shit. Just stop. People are going to look back on this time and be like, act like they weren't supporting this, act like they weren't telling me to die turf in my comments, acting like they weren't saying J.K. Rowling is a Nazi and a whatever else they're calling her, a fascist and a bigot. They're all going to act like they weren't on board with this because, mark my words, there will be a backlash to this and a generation of people are going to grow up and be like, what the where were the adults in the room exactly when all of this nonsense just started going crazy and you let all of these people just grab as much money as they could?
And then the UK recently passed a near total ban on puberty blockers for children and is set to close its only gender clinic.
Yeah. We're way behind in America. Mm-hmm. As Douglas Murray said to me, we're behind because we don't have heroes like J.K. Rowling speaking out and saying, you know, what the F. We just have cowards who are allowing all of this to just like keep going while we just experiment on our children. This is not okay, guys. I know I probably sound like some conservative to you, but it's still, at what point are you more afraid of being called a conservative than protecting an entire generation of children? We've already sacrificed too many of these kids on the altar of this insane ideology.
Phetasy News.
Join us at Phetasy.com. It is the best way to support this show. It is also the easiest way to get the unedited version of, well, it's one of the only ways to get the unedited version of Dumpster Fire the day before the edited version drops. So you'll get it on Saturday. We drop this on Sundays now if you're looking for it because we want you to have an opportunity to lounge around and watch us on the day of the Lord, the Lord's Day. You can also get the unedited version on Substack if you are someone who prefers Substack. We are there now, which, by the way, you should sign up for our newsletter, bridgetphetasy.substack.com. It is the best way to keep up with us. It's the best way to find out all the things we're doing. It's an easy place to get all of the content that we're putting out in at the end of the week. And it is the way that we can keep in touch with you when I inevitably get kicked off Twitter or banned from all social media or who knows. Being on our email list is the direct way that we can stay in touch with you. And it's free. It's just a free thing. Costs you nothing. We will never sell your information because we aren't sketchy like that. I want to thank everybody who makes this show possible, starting with Dave Yates, Sammy Flaps and Folds, Better Phetasy, Ben Howe. They edit, they write jokes, they tell stories all week that make me laugh and keep me sane. They also do writing and research. It is the dream team. And thank you, Cousin Maggie.
Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you for everything. And thank you, audience, supporters, subscribers, commenters. I'm looking forward to the comments this week, that's for sure. Thank you, Zen Pro Audio. That's where we get all of our audio equipment. If you're looking to support a small business and get some audio equipment, check out zenproaudio.com. Thank you to our sponsor this week, a new one. So go buy their stuff and support the businesses that support us, Neon Hippie. Their product is amazing. Maggie knows I am not a person who has like a face routine. I've always wanted to my whole life, but I'm just not disciplined. And I love this stuff. It's like my favorite thing at the end of the night and in the day. And honestly, people keep commenting on my skin, and it's the only thing I've done differently. Go to neonhippie.com and use the code dumpster for 20% off your whole order. This is a great deal. And the link is in the description below for all of this. And now to cleanse your palate, the internet is glorious.
What? What is your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony! What's your name? Ezekiel! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you! Fuck you!
This has been your dumpster fire for the week of July 9th to July 15th. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich so I can set my daughter up with Elon. Set my daughter up with Elon's daughter. Son.
I was like, you better qualify that. Set my daughter up with Elon. I was like, oh no.
Set my daughter up with Elon's son.